Hey leaders, how you guys doing? Happy Tuesday. I'm excited about a lot of things we got coming up, and so I just want to run through some of those with you guys to make sure that we are all on the same page. Before I jump into some of the things coming up, though, I just first of all want to say great job for the last couple weeks. I know in one of my previous videos I talked about making sure that we're spending more time with students. So just really keying in on that. Most of you guys have done a good job. I've done talk to, encouraging us, especially during that worship time, to just make sure we're with our students. And I get like you might not want to be jumping around with your students, totally fine, but just being with them, worshiping next to them, I think goes a long way. And then helping any students that are being distracting to others, just to remind them, especially in some of the middle school services, just reminding them to like stay focused and engaged. So if you guys could help with that, that would be awesome. And then sitting with our students, just keeping that up. I know I talked about that last video, but just want to make sure that's at the forefront of our minds, that taking the opportunities to engage with the students in every small area of youth group is going to have the biggest impact for groups. So great job with that, and let's keep it on. And then a couple of events we've got coming up, and I just want to walk you guys through this. Number one is Friendsgiving. That's a week from tomorrow. And I sent out it's recommended each group should bring. If you could talk about this in your group time, I've highlighted it in red, but talk about Friendsgiving, what each student can bring, and that way they know when it's going to be 6:30 to 8. They know what to bring, and then as much as possible. I know I've said this: if you're around and able to make it, and it's not too taxing, like I want you guys to take the rest if needed, but I would appreciate some help there that night because. Especially with some of the Riverway students coming, I think we're going to have like 150 some odd kids, maybe less, 100, 150, somewhere in that, because I know some people leave for the holidays. But the more hands I could have, just, one, engaging with students, but also helping me corral students so that people aren't just going crazy and doing whatever. I think it's going to be a fun night, so we'll do some bingo and some karaoke, and the students will have a blast. It'll be quick, but they'll all have a good time. And then after Friendsgiving, actually, we're going to announce the teams for the reindeer games, and I'll send those to you guys in the email so you know which grades and groups are going to be with who. But we're going to split the different. We already split different groups up, and there'll be each a team with a color. And so what I'll need I'll need your help with is for the 3 weeks leading up to the Christmas party is really selling like, hey, you got to dress up like reindeer. You got to get this color. We're the red team. We got to make sure we're all out in red, or we're the white team. We got to make sure we're all like decked out in, white out gear or whatever it is. Because as much as possible, we want to make this Christmas party like fun and engaging, and that when people show up, they're like, man, this is a cool atmosphere. So we're actually going to divide the room into the 4 teams and kind of make it fun, competition based. But the hope is that it just gives a new energy and fun to the Christmas party. And the hope, honestly, the goal of a Christmas party, the reason we do this and try and make it as fun as possible and throw more resources at it, is so that people are willing to bring their friends there to say like, hey, this is a cool place. Like there's fun here. And even though our normal ones might not look like that, like all the hype and excitement and all that, they can still show up and be like, okay, my friends go here. Other people I knew, there's like a lot of people, a lot happening, and we really enjoy this and what they do week in and week out. And the goal is to get those students plugged into groups. So I'll tell you about this soon, but we're going to try and have some kind of incentive. Maybe it's like they get points for their team, or we might do like if people bring a friend, both them and the friend, to get an entry for a free winter camp or something like that. So just trying to figure out something that'll make people want to bring friends. But our Christmas party is one of our biggest events for people bringing new people, especially as we go into the winter season, just kind of getting them a taste of like, man, I want to be involved in youth group. That when we come back from Christmas break, people want to be involved. So, and then obviously Christmas and New Year's, we do not have youth group because those are both Wednesdays this year. So we'll pick back up on the 8th. And then the 15th of January, so the second week, we're back. We're going to do a night that's going to be all grades, 6:30 to 8:30. It's going to be 6th through 12th grade, and it's going to be parents and students together one night. Now, the goal of this, and I'm going to explain this, we're going to send out a postcard I'm really excited about actually, is going to be all about how we engage with our smartphones and how our smartphones are affecting our walk with Jesus. And so I just bought a book. It's called sorry, I'm spacing. The Anxious Generation, and it's by an author called Jonathan Haidt. It's had. I don't know how to say it. It's Haidt. He does a lot of podcasts on like the Gospel Coalition, and he's on Joe Rogan, and he's on. I can't remember the name of the guy that does. Let me look here real quick. The Huberman Labs, who does like health podcasts. So he's on a number of different places. So if you search him on the podcast app, you can listen to some of his statistics and the thing he does. But he's one of the leading researchers right now in basically how social media and smartphones are affecting the next generation. And I believe that's affecting how we walk with God and how we live. And so as a youth pastor and someone that cares about these students, my goal is to get parents and students in the same room to help them see that they need to wage war on this issue together, that this thing that is keeping, that is monopolizing their attention and time and making them anxious and depressed and whatever it is, that they would find a sense of freedom from that, and that with information and call to action would hopefully lead our students into more freedom and just the ability to not be weighed down by the devices that we carry in our pocket. So really excited for that. It's going to be January 15th. I'd love you guys to be there and just be in support of that night. And it's a great opportunity, especially since parents are coming to meet some of your kids' parents or some of your students' parents. And then the last thing is winter camp. And I only have so many spots for winter camp for both students and leaders, but please let me know soon if you can make it to winter camp. I will always want to take as many leaders as possible. Like if I could have a winter camp where it's 1/3 leaders, that'd be great, because it's all about you guys getting time with your students in a setting like camp where you can really kind of expedite or fast track relationships and just get to know them on a deeper level, have longer conversations than you would on a Wednesday night, and really just build that relationship that creates lasting impact week in and week out in small group when the students are sharing about their lives and walking through what's happening. So those are all the events we've got coming up. We've got a really busy winter, and then it kind of is and then we enter the winter months where it's just kind of normal youth group for a while. We'll, towards the beginning of spring, we'll throw in kind of a big fun event there. And then we've got, we might do, towards the end of spring, we might do like a lock-in, but we've got our mission trip, which is already filled up. And so there's just a lot happening towards the end of the year, but specifically kind of in these winter months, we've got a lot coming up. And so I'd love for you guys to be a part of it and love to see the connections and the excitement that come as a result of all these events we're doing. So thank you guys for watching all this video. Thank you for all the work you do. And when you're there every week, it makes more of a difference than you can believe. It's crazy how even on nights that we're missing 3 or 4 leaders, like it's felt because you guys make such an impact on these students, and they really look forward to seeing you, not just their friends, but they look forward to getting to see adults every week who believe in them and care about them. And that's what you guys do, making this ministry move forward. So thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.